I was flat on my couch, shoes kicked off, legs throbbing from being on my feet all day. One of those nights where your body feels heavier than your thoughts. I wasn't even watching anything, just staring at my phone, scrolling mindlessly, trying to shut my brain off. That's when it buzzed. Uncle Tom. That alone made me sit up a little. He doesn't text. Ever. Birthdays, holidays, those are phone calls. A random message from him wasn't normal. I opened it. You need to see this, Olivia. I'm really sorry. My stomach dropped. Sorry for what? That word hit harder than it should have. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering, heart already speeding up like it knew something I didn't. I almost told myself to ignore it. Almost. But curiosity won. There was a video attached. I tapped it. And there she was. My sister. Sarah. She was stretched out in a lawn chair like she didn't have a care in the world. Sunglasses pushed up on her head, drink in hand. I recognized the background instantly, our parents' backyard. Same crooked oak tree. Same faded patio furniture. She looked smug. Relaxed. Comfortable. Too comfortable. Her voice cut through the phone speaker, loud and sharp, like she was playing to an audience. Please, she laughed, rolling her eyes. Olivia's too stupid to ever kick me out. I just live there rent-free like a queen. Someone laughed off camera. Then another. I heard my cousin Jake's ugly barking laugh. Lindsay's high-pitched giggle. And then worse than all of it, a low chuckle I recognized instantly. My dad. My chest tightened like something had wrapped around it and pulled. I didn't even realize I'd stopped breathing until I hit replay. This time I caught every detail. The way Sarah leaned back like she owned the place. The ice clinking in her glass. The grin she wore while she kept going. She thinks I'm broke, Sarah said, shaking her head dramatically. I make way more than she even knows. Why would I waste my money when my idiot sister lets me stay for free? More laughter. My hand started shaking. I gripped my phone harder, like that would somehow stop the words from sinking in. 3 years. 3 years she'd been living in my house. 3 years ago, she called me sobbing after a breakup, voice cracking, saying she had nowhere to go. Said she just needed a little time. I remembered sitting on my bed that night, heart breaking for her, promising she could stay as long as she needed. No rent. No bills. No pressure. I thought I was being a good sister. I hit replay again. Every word hurt worse the second time. And the third. Too stupid. Idiot. Too dumb to kick me out. My exhaustion vanished completely. My body was still on the couch, but my mind felt like it was standing straight up, alert and cold. This wasn't a joke. This wasn't drunk rambling. This was confidence. The kind that comes from knowing you've been getting away with something for a long time. My phone buzzed again. Uncle Tom. I wasn't sure whether to send it, but you deserve to know. For a split second, the old version of me wanted to text Sarah immediately. Demand an explanation. Give her a chance to twist the story, laugh it off, blame alcohol, blame context, blame anything. That version of me had covered for her for years. But the woman staring at that video? She was done. I typed back slow and steady. Thank you. Don't say anything to her. I'll handle it. Then I locked my phone. The apartment felt different after that. Quieter. Heavier. Like the walls themselves knew something had shifted. I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling all night, replaying moments I'd brushed off before. Missing groceries, her new clothes, her weekend trips, the way she always dodged conversations about moving out. It all made sense now. Morning came like nothing had happened. Sunlight through the blinds. Coffee brewing. Routine pretending everything was normal. Sarah wandered into the kitchen like she owned the place, stretching, yawning. Man, she said cheerfully, grabbing my oat milk from the fridge. I slept so good last night. Your guest bed is amazing. I smiled. She had no idea. She poured herself coffee. Hummed. Sat at my table like it was her house. And I watched her, calm in a way that almost scared me. So, I said casually, sipping my coffee, what's your plan for the next few months? She frowned. Plan? You know, I shrugged. You've been here a while. I figured you might be thinking about your next move. She groaned dramatically. Liv, I have so much going on. Moving is the last thing I need to stress about. I nodded slowly. Totally, I said. Which is why I think it's time for some changes. She barely looked up from her phone. Like what? I let the silence stretch just long enough. Starting next month, I said evenly. I think it makes sense for you to start paying rent. She laughed. Actually laughed. Wait, are you serious? Yeah. Her smile faltered just a bit. We're family. You really expect me to pay rent? Yes. That single word landed harder than anything else I'd said. For the first time in 3 years, I watched uncertainty flicker across her face. And in that moment I knew. She still thought I'd back down. She had no idea this was just the beginning. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. And if you're enjoying this so far, give it a like, it really helps the channel. Comment below. What would you have done if you saw that video? The next few days were tense in a quiet, uncomfortable way. Sarah didn't explode. She didn't apologize either. Instead, she went cold. She stopped lounging in the living room. Stopped talking unless she had to. Doors closed a little harder than usual. Short answers. Forced smiles that didn't reach her eyes. She was waiting me out. That had always worked before. Friday night, I was curled up on the couch with a book when she walked in like a storm. No greeting. No easing into it. Just arms crossed and attitude already loaded. So, she said, standing in front of me. You're really serious about this rent thing? I marked my page and looked up. Calm. Steady. Yeah. Why wouldn't I be? She paced the room, hair pulled back tight, agitation spilling out of her. I just don't get why you're doing this now. After 3 years. It makes no sense. I leaned back. It makes perfect sense. You have a job. You make good money. There's no reason you shouldn't be contributing. She scoffed. We're family, Liv. Family doesn't charge family rent. I didn't flinch. You're living here like a tenant, I said. Why shouldn't you pay like one? That stopped her pacing. She stared at me, jaw tight, eyes searching for the crack she usually found. Then, right on cue, she switched tactics. Her shoulders dropped. Her voice softened. She sighed like the weight of the world was on her chest. Look, she said quietly, I know I joke around. Maybe I don't always say thank you. But I appreciate you. I've just been going through a lot. There it was. The guilt card. I tilted my head. A lot financially? She hesitated. Just a beat too long. No, she said quickly. I mean life stuff. Work stress. Personal things. I nodded slowly. So money isn't the problem. Her eyes flickered. Well, technically I could pay, she admitted, waving it off. But why should I? You don't even need the money. That was the moment something hardened in me. It's not about what I need, I said evenly. It's about fairness. She laughed bitterly. Wow, you've really changed. I met her gaze. Or maybe I've just stopped letting you walk all over me. That hit. I saw it in her face, the flicker of panic she tried to hide. The first of the month came quietly. Too quietly. Sarah acted like nothing was happening. Coffee. Snacks. Phone scrolling on my couch like she'd already won. Like she'd outlasted me again. At exactly 9 a.m. her phone buzzed. I watched her frown at the screen. Scroll. Sit up straighter. What the hell is this? She snapped, shoving her phone toward me. It was an email. A lease agreement. That's your rental contract, I said calmly. Her mouth fell open. My what? I hired a property management company, I continued. If you're going to live here, it's official now. She scrolled frantically. This says my rent is due today. That's correct. She laughed, sharp, disbelieving. You're insane. No, I said. I'm done being taken advantage of. Her laughter died instantly. She switched again, hand to chest, voice trembling. Liv, come on. You're my sister. And for 3 years, I replied. I supported you completely. No rent. No bills. No pressure. She swallowed. I didn't know you were serious. I gave you a month's notice. Her face twisted. I don't have the money right now. I tilted my head. That's interesting. Last week you were talking about buying VIP tickets for that festival. Her face drained of color. Silence. I leaned forward slightly. So you have the money. You just don't want to pay me. She started to speak. I held up my hand. You have 2 options. You sign the lease and pay rent. Or you move out. And if I don't? She hissed. Then you get a 14-day notice to vacate. Her eyes went wide. You'd evict me? Yes, I said simply. Because you did this to yourself. She stormed out that night. Didn't come home. Didn't come back the next day either. 3 days passed before she finally returned, just before midnight. I was waiting, laptop open, pretending to work. She dropped her bag hard on the counter. You really filed the paperwork, she said. Yes. She laughed bitterly. You're seriously evicting me? No. Ikurrakta. I gave you choices. Her voice cracked. I don't have anywhere to go. I pulled up my laptop. Actually, you do. I showed her listings. Affordable. Close by. Within her budget. She stared at the screen like it betrayed her. You planned all this, she muttered. I planned to stop being used. She finally broke then. Not yelling. Not scheming. Just quiet desperation. I messed up, she whispered. I shouldn't have said what I said. I met her eyes. You meant it. She looked away. You called me stupid, I said calmly. You bragged about playing me. Her shoulders sagged. The power had shifted and she knew it. If this story is hitting close to home, give it a like, it really helps the channel. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. Sarah packed quietly after that. No slamming doors. No dramatic speeches. Just the soft sound of drawers opening and closing. Boxes sliding across the floor. A suitcase dragged down the hallway. It was strange seeing her like that, small, stripped of all the confidence she'd worn so comfortably for years. She barely looked at me while she packed. And honestly, I didn't push it. Some conversations don't need words anymore. That night, I found her sitting on the living room floor, half-packed suitcase beside her, staring at nothing. The smug sister from the video was gone. In her place was someone tired, cornered, human. I sat across from her. I don't hate you, I said quietly. She snorted. Sure feels like it. I shook my head. I didn't do this to hurt you. She swallowed. Still hurts. I know, I replied. But if I hadn't stopped this now, when would you have left? She opened her mouth, closed it again. We both knew the answer. Never. After a long silence, she whispered. Because it was easy. That one sentence said everything. You always made it easy, she added. I nodded slowly. And that's exactly why it had to end. The next morning she was gone. No gudbiehug. No fight. Just a packed room and a single text. I'm out. Good luck, Liv. I locked my phone and stood in the doorway of the guest room, my room again. Empty. Quiet. Mine. The house felt different instantly. Lighter. Like I could breathe again. A week later, Uncle Tom stopped by. He looked around, hands in his pockets, nodding slowly. Feels peaceful, he said. It does, I admitted. He studied me for a moment. You did the right thing. Then why does it still feel weird? Because she's your sister, he said gently. But that doesn't mean she was good for you. That night I sat on the couch with a glass of wine, staring out the window at the quiet street. No door slamming. No food missing. No tension buzzing under my skin. For years I thought being kind meant being endless. That loving someone meant letting them take whatever they wanted. I was wrong. Sarah laughed about playing me for a fool. She thought I'd never push back. Never draw a line. She underestimated me. And now she's figuring things out on her own, exactly where she should have been all along. As for me, I finally have my space, my peace, my life back, and I'm never giving it away again. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. If you enjoyed this journey, give it a like, it really helps the channel. And comment below. Would you have done the same thing in my place, or handled it differently?